Hello, Miss Kylene's little turkeys and fellow listeners. As you know, in just a few short days, it's going to be Thanksgiving. And that is what we have worked so hard on this whole month, is learning about the first Thanksgiving. I hope that you've told your grown-ups at home about the Wampanoags and about the Pilgrims and how they traveled on the Mayflower, and they came and they landed at Plymouth Rock and they named their colony the Plymouth Colony. We have just learned so much, and I thought that I would just bring a little bit of fun into this holiday that we celebrate by reading you Pete the Cat, the First Thanksgiving. And I have Pete the Cat here with me this evening, and he is wearing his pilgrim hat. So, let's get started. Pete the Cat, the First Thanksgiving by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete was nervous about being a pilgrim in his class's Thanksgiving play, The First Thanksgiving. "Just do your best," his best friend Callie said. Pete said he would try. He was ready. His mom had even made him a pilgrim hat, which was really cool. Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, what is this? It's a flap. Let's see what's underneath it. It's Pete's pilgrim hat. Pete, I must say, you look pretty cool in your pilgrim hat. Pete took his place at the front of the giant ship that his class had made out of cardboard. Pete was a pilgrim on the... What was the name of the ship that the pilgrims sailed on? He was a pilgrim on the Mayflower. Oh, here's another flap. Let's check it out. Look at Pete the Pilgrim sailing the ocean blue. In 1620, a group of pilgrims decided to leave England for the New World to build a new life. It was a long, long trip on a big, big ship. All the pilgrims sang. The sea was rough and very dangerous. Many pilgrims got very, very sick. Oh my. Could you imagine just rocking on the ship? The dream of a new start in a new world made the hard trip all worth it. For more than 2 months, the pilgrims sailed. Well, here they are. September 1620, September 6th. Set sail. So they sailed through September, then through October, and into the first weeks of November. They wondered if they would ever get there. Doesn't that make you think of a trip that you go on with your grown-ups at home? And sometimes you're just riding in the back seat and you're like, are we ever gonna get there? Are we there yet? Are we there now? Are we there yet? Could you imagine being on a ship in the ocean and sailing through this many months? Man, and there were children on the Mayflower. After 65 days, oh my goodness, could you imagine a 65-day long road trip? On the ship, the new world finally came into view. Oh, here's another flap. Let's see. Land ho, Pete cried. All the pilgrims did a happy dance. Yay! Now I want you to happy dance at home. Yay! There he said it. He's got a speech bubble right there. Land ho! The pilgrims arrived in the New World at Plymouth Rock in what is now Massachusetts. Everyone had many chores to do, like growing food and finding water. Look at them. They're building their house. Let's see what's underneath this flap. Oh, all finished. And part of their chores was to build shelters. The first winter in the New World was long and hard. We remember reading about that, don't we? In the spring, the Pilgrims had to decide whether to give up and go back to England or to keep trying. Well, we know what the Pilgrims did, don't we? They didn't give up. The Pilgrims had heard about the Native Americans, and many worried that they would not be friendly. Were the Native Americans friendly? Do you remember? Do you remember Squanto? Pete had never met a cat he didn't like, so he thought they would be kind. Let's see what's underneath here. Aw, how friendly. Pete was right. He made a new friend in Squanto. Squanto and the other Native Americans showed the Pilgrims how to grow crops like corn, beans, and squash. Let's check it out. Ooh. By summer, the Pilgrims had learned how to farm the new land. Oh, there's a little yellow squash. By fall harvest, the Pilgrims had plenty of food. To thank Squanto and the other Native Americans, the Pilgrims invited them to share the harvest. Pete was relieved when the play was over. He had remembered all his lines. Wow, I never thought about how hard it was back then, said Pete. It was really hard, wasn't it? Let's check this out. This celebration became known as the first Thanksgiving. Here he is. Oh, you did great, Callie said. They're taking a bow. Later at Thanksgiving dinner with all his family, Pete said, "Let's all go around the table and say something that we are thankful for." Let's see. I am thankful for my family, said Pete's mom. How nice is that? I am thankful for my skateboard, said Bob. I am thankful for the brave Pilgrims that started this new free world, said Pete. What are you thankful for? Take a moment and think about what you're thankful for. And you know what? I'll tell you what I'm thankful for. I am thankful for each and every one of you. I love you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your families.